So I'm going to show you kind of a ridiculous build and process of an SS107. Stay tuned. So fourth kayak. First one I had was an ATAK 140. Then I went to a NuCanoe Pursuit. Then I went to a 2019 Hobie Pro Angler and landed on this 2019 Bonafide limited edition SS107. 10-foot kayak, shortest kayak I've had. But you know, had a little experience actually being out on the water and fishing. Kind of knew what I wanted. Knew that I was going to go back to car topping and a couple other things. So I'll explain why I did it at the end. Let's jump right into the kayak. So first off, big shout out to Headwaters Kayak. They did all the work here. Also gave me a really good price on the accessories and the kayak itself. So again, big shout out to them. I'll put all of their contact information in the description below. I drove all the way out there from Sacramento, about a 45-minute drive, past other kayak shops because they support the kayak bass fishing community a lot. So wanted to kind of take my business over to them. Again, great guys, great craftsmanship over there as far as what they did and how they wired everything and got it all set up for me. So starting up here at the bow, we have a Minn Kota. Right now I do not have the Pro Nav on here, and what the Pro Nav will do will let me actually drive this thing, steer this thing, spot lock this thing all from my phone. I don't have that on here yet. That is coming. But I also am able to steer it not only with the pedal that comes with it, but mostly I steer with the rudder that's on here. But what I had the guys do over there is they actually cut down the troller motor. So chop this down. I mean, it was actually going all the way back to where the fish finder is now, but they cut it down so that it's, you know, just obviously works better on a kayak, really easy to transport, fits in the back of the Jeep really good. So that's cool right there. So this is what it looks like when the troller motor is actually down. Works great. The hatch, I don't really use it. The only thing that's under the hatch here is the actual battery, which powers, you know, phone. It's got a power gearbox down there. Powers phone and fish finder. That is a lithium 20 amp hour. So got plenty of juice there. This is something that I really like, the center console. This was in something similar to this was in the ATAK 140, and I really liked it because you can take your troller motor and the center console transducers right there as well and just pick it up and take it right out of the kayak. So if you're storing it, you know, overnight or tournament or something like that, and you want your you know, your fish finder and all that good stuff, your transducer just to come right out, really simple and easy, that's the solution. Coming down here, so the rudder was installed, so really simple. Pedal system there works really good, no issues with it yet. I can actually just put the troller motor just going straight, and I can steer with my feet no problem. So it makes it really easy to troll down a bank, or just kind of, you know, if you're crossing the lake and you're tying up or doing all that kind of stuff. Really easy just to steer with your feet. And that's one of the main reasons why I went away from the pedal kayak. And I mean, I had a Hobie Pro Angler 12, which is great kayak, super good kayak. But the only thing was, you know, if I wanted to really beat the bank and, you know, just continue fishing, it makes it a lot easier with the motor on here to just put it on a very low power and just use my feet to steer the boat. And also, you know, going across the lake or something like that, it just makes it really convenient. So the downside about obviously having anything that's powered on your kayak is weight, and then also batteries. So, you know, that's kind of a give and take. But you know, you just really got to take into consideration what the prices are for some of these higher end pedal kayaks versus just, you know, kind of powering up a good kayak. Other thing, one of the things that I really love about the Hobie, one of the many things, was you had a tray that was right by your feet. Not a tray like this, but you know, there's a cutout in the floor and you just lift it up and you can get a hold of some of your stuff, your terminal tackle, whatever gear you're using. Really, really convenient. So I definitely wanted that. So on this Bonafide 107, I'm glad that they actually had the option to come with this tray, which those are 3700s. You can't fit 4 3700s no matter what you do. You can fit 2, or just obviously go down to a smaller tackle box and get more of your gear in there. But I usually have terminal tackle, and I think under here, yeah, I have, you know, a bunch of Kayak in there, and then you can just stuff this with, you know, whatever you want to fish with. So this is actually a must-have. I would not go fishing or, you know, buy a fishing kayak that didn't either have a tray or something right here at your feet that you can actually just, you know, get stuff really easily. Because going to the front hatch or turning around all the time is just super inconvenient. And once you actually have one of those, either, you know, one that goes straight into the floor or one that pulls out, phenomenal. The seat, man, oh man. So let's talk about the seat. So coming from the Hobie Pro Angler, I was pretty spoiled with the seat. I think that's one of the best, if not the best seats out there. And a lot of the other kayaks that I had too before, the NuCanoe Pursuit and even the ATAK 140 had really, really good seats. I did try, before I made this purchase, again, the 10-foot, because I knew I wanted a 10-foot kayak. I did try the native Titan 10, and it was one of, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but it was one of the worst seats that I've sat on a kayak. Not only was it squeaky, but it just hurt my back. And I don't have back problems. So it was really uncomfortable. I kept having to adjust it constantly. And there's a couple of guys, obviously, that I go fishing with that have the Titans, and they've made a lot of modifications to their seats to make them far more comfortable, which you can do. But I just, you know, seat, definitely comfortability is important, especially spending all day on the water. So great seat here, very comfortable, easy to adjust. I mean, there's not a whole lot of adjustments on here, just these straps on the side. And obviously it does have the high and low position. Every kayak I fish with, I've always left it in the high position, and it stayed that way. So I don't do a lot of adjusting. I don't do any adjusting actually on the water or off. So the seat stays in the high position. Again, you can put it in low position, but it is a really comfortable seat. I've been on the water all day on it, and no issues, no complaints. So going back here, you have the black pack, very common. You see them everywhere. The only downside of these is, and you can fix it really easy, is the noise when you close these. They're pretty loud, but you can put just 2 rubber pieces. You can go to Home Depot or anywhere and just, I haven't done it yet on this one, but put 2 rubber pieces there so that when you close it, it doesn't, you know, make that loud noise. So right here, what's powering the troller motor, the wires ran obviously from the bow back here right under the seat, comes out right here and into the black pack. And this is a 40 amp hour lithium battery that has Velcro at the bottom and is also strapped in. The unfortunate part about doing it this way though is I can't fit my 3700 tackle boxes in here anymore, so gonna have to change those out. But other than that, just a typical black pack. Got some rod holders on there, hog trough holder right there behind the seat. Coming back here on the SS107, you do have another hatch to give you access, obviously, for like the rudder. If you're doing that install, or just have access back there if you need it. Back here, this does not come standard on the Bonafides, but I did have this rudder installed again from Headwaters. So the rudder works good, no issues there. You know, pretty simple, steer it with your feet. There is a hook mechanism right here so that when I do actually put the rudder up and I want to keep it in place, or I'm transporting it, Really simple and easy. This bad boy here, which after last year fishing on the Delta for a little bit, I was definitely convinced that I'm gonna have to, I needed a micro anchor. So went and got one of those, picked it up, and it is actually powered by the same battery that the 20 amp hour that's in the bow of the boat, which also powers the Garmin, but it just works good. So I mean, if you need to, there's really not much to it. If you need to, come to a place and stand still in shallow water, you can't beat it. It's a little pricey, but definitely helps you stay where you want to be. Going back up to the center of the boat, also to bring the rudder up or bring it down right here. So that really helps, really convenient, right by the seat. Got the micro anchor remote up here for going up and down. Also, it comes with an additional one which you can, just put around your neck or in your pocket as well. But having it right there is just really convenient. The 9-inch Garmin EcoMat Plus, which I'll be hooking Panoptics to in the future. Got a rod holder here, which either just have, a rod for hooking things up, or the net, which I like because it just keeps it out of the way. And I usually will, kind of maneuver it so it's not in the way of the pedal or anything like that. But makes it really convenient that way. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. So, it's kind of a pretty decked out 10-foot Bonafide SS107. However, one of the reasons why I wanted a 10-foot as well is because I wanted to be able to have a kayak that I can, just pick up and carry and go to some really remote places when I'm not, on the lake or doing tournament or anything like that. And the great part about that is, even with this troller motor, this Minn Kota, it does have the quick release system on it. So all I have to do is pull this pin out, pull this out, and this thing lifts right up. Lifts right up. So it's completely off the boat. And then right here, this is all that's left. Just that right there, and there's a back plate that's under there that was custom made, and then there's a plate that's underneath that for extra support. But I can take that off. If I, want to take off the fish finder, easy, quick release, take it off. I can remove all the batteries and everything from here. I can even take off the micro anchor, just a couple of screws right there. And this thing, you can just throw it over your head and take it to any pond or lake, and it paddles well as well. So that's the reason why I went with a 10-foot, just because, I wanted something that was going to be easily transportable with everything off of it, just for a fun day, or something that I can really load up that can be tournament ready, just by adding on some accessories. So there it is. More to come. Stay tuned when we have change up the Minn Kota over here so that I can control it by the phone. I'll be adding that, giving a review on that, letting you guys know how that works. Panoptics in the future, definitely make some videos on that. But other than that, there it is.